Again, thanks to Dave for coming back and kind of showing us some of the great weathering tips that he uses on his Shermans. As you know, I'm also working on a vehicle, the Stug here, and we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the differences in approach that Dave uses versus what I do. And first of all, like for the mud, we both like the AK terrain stuff, but I use the dark earth color. That's become my go-to, and I use it very much the same way that you do.
Right.
But I don't add. Well, I apply to the vehicle in very much the same way you do, but I don't add the parsley. I don't add the texture to it. I don't add pigment to lighten it up. I kind of do that after the fact.
After you go.
Right. Yeah. But I like what you did, and I think that's something that I may incorporate into my process going forward. Right?
Yeah,
both from I like adding the parsley or some type of texture foliage. I think that's a great idea, and maybe even I would never have thought of using asphalt as a mud base for weathering, like dark mud type of thing. But with what you've done with it and kind of lightening up with the pigment, that's a great option.
Yeah, it's just and to be honest, because of where I live, 200 miles from here, I don't have access. There's no hobby shops where I live. So sometimes I don't have access, and like others, say in the United States, where hobby shops are far and far apart.
Starting to be.
Sometimes you got to look in your workbench and adapt. So maybe if I had that sitting there, I never would have discovered the asphalt trick.
Yeah, maybe.
But in any event, I've read about that with Lester's article, the same product you have in your hand there, and it obviously works for him. It works for you, and I'm sure that maybe if I wasn't doing deep into February cold, boggy kind of terrains, I'd gladly use that product.
Yeah.
It's just where I set my stuff up.
But it just goes to show you that a lot of the products today, and I've talked about this a lot previously. It's a matter of convenience.
Yeah,
like they're really just selling you convenience, whereas you can almost get to a paint by numbers approach on how you go to this. I'll go to this jar pigment. I go to this fuel stains. I go to this type of terrain additive, and it just goes to show that with just a few things, and really oil paints. Like in your last session, you were just weathering. You were just creating the mud with oil. You could do almost everything with oil paint, like Ronaldo does.
Yeah.
Right? So
absolutely, with a bit of pigments mixed with the oils.
Yeah, just to give it a bit of texture.
Almost a black pigment.
Yeah.
And brownish oils. We could have come out with the same, with this,
Exactly, and not to bash the products that are, because something new comes out, I'm like a convenience new product whore. Like I will go out, I will buy it,
try it.
I'll see what it's all about, and kind of figure out if it's something I'm gonna keep using or not. So, not to say, but just goes to show you can, with just a few basic supplies, you can create very compelling effects.
Because I didn't on my palette when I was doing the oil paints. What I have 3 or 4 colors out, and it's probably because you and I have watched the guys do that dot effect, on their vehicles, and then I just use the same thing, only I just applied it to making mud instead of. But it's almost the same sort of technique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you know what? A year from now, I'm gonna pay you guys a visit off and on, going forward. But maybe in a year from now, there's something brand new out there that you and I are dying to try, and we try it, and Meg or AK or somebody's brought it out, or Vallejo, and we're all over it. We're all over it and enjoying it, and it's making our tanks look better. So who knows what's next?
Yeah. Yeah, this could go anywhere. 3D print. We talked a little bit about 3D printing previously, what that's going to do to the hobby, and how it's going to make it easier to get fine details.
Yeah. So we're very fortunate.
Oh yeah, it truly is. I mean, we keep saying it, but it truly is the golden age.
Yeah. There's no question.
Yeah.
But also too, share it. Always share your ideas. Don't sort of think, I've got the genie in the bottle.
State secrets. Yeah.
Share it amongst your fellow modelers. It's the best thing to do.
Agreed.
Yeah. Because it's just, it broadens the whole thing out.
There's nothing better than going to a show and the tables are full of nice models, or because everybody's sharing, everybody's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it just brings the whole. It's like, the tide.
Yeah.
All the boats rise.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's what you want.
Yeah.
And like I said an episode or two ago, the things that might have won Best in Show 15 years ago, they're silver medal models today.
Yeah, or might not even place.
Yeah,
like in some cases.
It's just because all the boats are rising.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thanks to Mig, and thanks to AK and Vallejo and Tamiya for bringing out these great products that we can, try and share and make these pieces a little better than
Yeah. Yeah, the hobby's never been more engaging and exciting. I think, even though we're always worried about it's an aging, it's a graying hobby, but I think there just seems to be a lot of interest in it, a lot of models on the table, a lot of people going to the shows. And I know we're kind of coming out of the first year coming out of the pandemic,
right?
But it's encouraging. Like the last few shows I've gone to, I've seen young people. A lot of people out, a lot of interest. It's been extremely encouraging. So that's fantastic.
And quite often the chairman of that show will say, "This is the most models we've ever had," or "We've given out the most gold medals we've ever given out."
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
And I know that COVID was somewhat, everybody sort of focused. Your wife built a puzzle, and you were down here building a 3D puzzle and a plastic model.
That's right.
So, but we're all beneficiaries of all that. So, yeah.
It's a great time. Well, listen, hey, thanks very much for coming back. Look forward to more visits and seeing further progression
we'll carry on
Sherman.
Carry on with the Sherman.
Yeah.
All right,
good.
David.
All right.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
All right. Take care.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.